Prince Regent Gu Xingzi is a cripple. None of the noble ladies of the capital are willing to marry him. The emperor issued a decree to draw lots to choose a bride for him. The lot fell on my fiancée Lu Huijing's childhood sweetheart. Lu Huijing couldn't bear to see her marry another, so he swapped her name on the lot with mine. I heard it with my own ears outside his courtyard. His sweetheart, Song Yingying, cooed her thanks.
Thank you, Brother Huijing, for switching the lots for me.
Otherwise, I'd have to marry into the Prince Regent's mansion.
How could I ever let you marry that cripple? Shen Qingche is infatuated with me. She'll surely defy the decree and refuse the marriage. She'll take this disaster for you. My heart turned to ice. In the end, I left in silence. Back home, my parents were holding the imperial decree with worried faces. Your daughter is willing to marry the Prince Regent. Lu Huijing will never know that I never was set on marrying only him.
My dear, are you really going to marry the Prince Regent? But the Prince Regent is a cripple.
Meeting my mother's pained gaze, my nose stung. I knew she was afraid I'd suffer after marrying. But the Prince Regent wields immense power. If we defy the decree and anger him, our whole clan could be executed and exiled. The Prince Regent has power and influence. He was once a general who fought on the battlefield. Your daughter won't suffer after marrying him. Even so,
What mother could stand by and watch her daughter marry a cripple? Go beg Lu Huijing. You two are engaged. If you marry immediately, you can refuse this marriage.
hearing this, I gave a bitter smile. Mother knew I'd adored Lu Huijing since childhood. I waited for Lu Huijing for 7 years. I was mocked by everyone in the capital as an old maid who couldn't get married. The day the Lu family came to propose, Mother held me and cried, saying my suffering was finally over. But who would have thought that what I finally waited for wasn't Lu Huijing, but an imperial decree to marry the Prince Regent? All because Lu Huijing pitied his sweetheart, he swapped the name on the lot with mine. He even spread the news first, saying I was the future Princess Regent. The whole capital congratulated Lu Huijing for finally getting rid of me, his pursuer. Poor me, I initially thought it was just a rumor. As the person involved, I didn't even learn the truth until the last moment. At this moment, I felt weary. I lowered my head and whispered, "It's fine. I have to marry someone anyway. It doesn't matter who." It seemed Mother's tears had run dry.
It turned white. The moment my gaze fell on the words, Prince Regent,
Gu Xingzi on the decree, my obsession with Lu Huijing finally faded. From now on, I am no longer Shen Qingqi, the fool waiting for a proposal. I am the Princess Regent. After bidding farewell to Mother, I returned to my courtyard. Suddenly, familiar footsteps sounded outside. My maid announced with some reluctance,
Miss, young Master Lu is here.
My grip on the wedding dress tightened. My fingertips turned cold. When I looked up, Lu Huijing had already lifted the curtain and entered.
Dressed in a moon-white brocade robe.
Still looked like the gentle young master all the maidens in the capital admired. But Song Yingying, following behind him now, felt like a thorn, stinging my eyes. Song Yingying timidly hid behind him. Her eyes were slightly red,
She lowered her head upon seeing me.
looking as if she'd been wronged.
Lu Huijing walked straight up to me.
Looking at the wedding dress in my hands, a flicker of mockery passed through his eyes,
So eager to marry me already?
as if it wasn't him who forced me to marry a cripple by swapping the marriage lot. I raised my eyes to look at him. The last lingering shred of hope in my heart vanished completely. "What are you doing here?"
Came today.
To ask for something for Yingying. He stepped aside, letting Song Yingying come forward.
Yingying has been having nightmares every night lately.
The imperial physician said she needs a piece of warm jade to calm her nerves. That warm jade your mother gave you would be perfect. Just give it to her. My heart clenched. I looked at him in disbelief. I've worn that since I was a child. It means everything to me,
It's just a piece of jade,
Lu Huijing said dismissively.
even sounding somewhat entitled. If you're willing to give it,
I'll take you as my concubine in the future.
you won't be mistreated.
Take me as your concubine? It sounded like the biggest joke I'd ever heard. I couldn't help but laugh. So, after waiting for 7 years, in his heart, I'm only worthy of being a concubine. The Lu Huijing from before,
Who scoured the capital just to buy my favorite apricot blossom cakes to make me happy.
and who, when I fell ill, kneeled before the Buddha for 3 whole days to pray for me. That man is long gone. Song Yingying tugged at Lu Huijing's sleeve.
Brother Huijing, forget it. If sister is unwilling,
I don't want it.
I don't want to cause discord between you.
But the anticipation in her eyes was impossible to hide. Seeing my refusal, Lu Huijing grew even angrier.
Don't be ungrateful. Yingying is frail.
This jade is very important to her. With that, he reached for the jade cord at my waist,
Instinctively stepped back.
clutching the warm jade tightly, refusing to let go. As we struggled, a crisp crack sounded. The warm jade slipped from our hands and fell onto the bluestone floor, shattering into 2 pieces instantly. I stared blankly at the broken jade on the ground. All the strength seemed to drain from my body. Lu Huijing was only flustered for a moment. Then he scoffed mockingly.
It's just a piece of jade. I'll pay you back.
Shen Qingzi suddenly looked up,
Her voice trembled with anger.
but there was no trace of affection left in her eyes.
Only cold, resolute determination remained.
Lu Huijing, the engagement between you and me is hereby annulled.
Lu Huijing's expression changed drastically. What do you mean?
Shen Qingzi straightened up.
Looked at him with firm resolve.
What do I mean? From now on, you and I are free to marry others. We have nothing to do with each other. Lu Huijing's face turned ashen.
He said through gritted teeth. Fine. Fine. Nothing to do with each other. You don't want to marry me? Do you really want to marry that cripple?
Shen Qingzi's voice was calm, but carried an undeniable finality.
No need for your concern, young Master Lu. Please leave. My courtyard has no room for the two of you.
Shen Qingzi turned and left.
Without giving him or Song Yingying another glance.
Leaving the two of them standing there, stunned. Lu Huijing was a mix of shock and rage.
A hint of smug satisfaction flashed in Song Yingying's eyes. Within 3 days of the warm jade shattering, rumors were already flying all over the capital.
At first, the tea house storytellers added their own embellishments.
Thang Shen Qingzi, to stay by Lu Huijing's side, deliberately smashed her mother's warm jade to prove her resolve. Later, some even said Shen Qingzi begged Lu Huijing in tears late at night just to salvage the engagement.
These words reached
Shen Qingzi's mother's ears in less than half a day.
Madame Shen was so angry, her hands trembled.
She couldn't even eat.
That day, I went to the temple to pray. I had just stepped out the main gate when a few women of unknown origin surrounded me.
They pointed at me and started cursing. That's her, Shen Qingzi. She even dared to smash the jade her own mother gave her, all for a man. How unfilial. Heard she's been shamelessly clinging to young Master Lu. How thick-skinned.
Their curses grew fiercer and fiercer. One of the plump women even charged forward, shoving me to the ground. My knees hit the blue stone pavement, a piercing pain, and my skirt was torn at the hem. A passerby tried to help me up.
But another woman pushed him away. Don't touch her! A woman with no shame like her deserves to be taught a lesson.
Tried to push myself up from the ground.
But the plump woman actually raised her foot and stomped on the back of my hand.
That'll teach you to be so ungrateful.
The intense pain from my hand made my vision go dark, and tears fell uncontrollably. Just then, the servants who were with me finally rushed over and pulled the women away. But the back of my hand was already swollen and bruised, and my knees were bleeding.
My mother held me, crying and trembling all over. My poor baby. How could you suffer like this?
I leaned into my mother's embrace, my heart aching and cold. I knew. This must have been secretly instigated by either Lu Huijing or Song Yingying. They want to ruin me, to force me to submit. Outside the temple, mother and daughter held each other, and the surroundings gradually grew quiet. Back at the manor, father looked at my injured hand and knees, his face filled with anger.
He immediately wanted to go confront the Liu family. He was still fuming.
Father, it's useless. Since he dared to do this,
He's not afraid of us making a scene. I quickly stopped father. My eyes held helplessness and clarity. Just then, a maid's announcement came from outside the door, breaking the silence in the room.
Miss, an envoy from the Regent's residence is here. He brought gifts.
My heart stirred. An envoy from the Regent's residence. He's actually here for me? I stood up and went out to greet him.
My steps were light yet firm.
Upon seeing me,
The visitor bowed respectfully.
his demeanor was proper and dignified. My lord has heard the recent rumors in the capital and knows you have been wronged. This piece of warm jade was obtained by His Highness in the Western regions years ago. Its nature is gentle and fine, quite similar to your old jade. He specially bestows it upon you. His Highness also says rumors stop with the wise. He will certainly ensure your safety. There was no condescending charity, no aggressive questioning, only perfectly measured respect. Compared to Lu Huijing's slander and humiliation, Gu Xingji's actions were like a warm beam of light piercing through the gloom. Please convey my thanks to His Highness. I will treasure this gesture. The envoy bowed respectfully and left. His figure gradually disappeared into the depths of the courtyard. After the envoy left, Mother took my hand. Her eyes were slightly red, full of affection.
My dear, this regent is quite a considerate man. He's so attentive toward you.
I nodded. My favorable impression of Gu Xingzi deepened further. A warm feeling spread. Afternoon sunlight streamed through the window lattice into the room. Everything began to feel warm and beautiful again. Early the next morning, Shen Qingqi, as usual, pushed open the door and stepped out of her bedchamber. She walked towards the courtyard gate.
Just as she reached the entrance, she saw a few nosy commoners peeking and craning their necks outside.
Clearly, Lu Huijing had deliberately brought them here to see if she would truly abandon him for the crippled prince. Shen Qingqi fearlessly raised her head, meeting those inquisitive gazes with composure. Neighbors, good people, my voice may not be loud,
but it's enough for everyone here to hear clearly. The rumors in the capital that I broke the jade to show my resolve, that I'm infatuated with young Master Lu, are all baseless and not to be believed.
She raised her hand, pointing at the half-broken jade pendant. Her tone was calm, yet carried undeniable force. Lu Huijing, for the sake of his childhood sweetheart Song Yingying,
Forcibly snatched and shattered my jade pendant.
My engagement with him is broken. This is not a rash decision made in anger, but a well-considered one.
With that, she raised her hand again, weighing the new, warm jade pendant gifted by the Regent King in her palm.
The Regent King gave me this jade.
Out of consideration for the distress the rumors have caused me, to ease my mind,
I, Shen Qingzu, am willing to marry Gu Xingzu. It has nothing to do with power or status, but comes from genuine willingness.
After her declaration that day, the previously buzzing gossip gradually died down. The day before the wedding, Shen Qingzi, enduring her pain, went alone to the market to pick out wedding fruits. Just as she reached the vendor's stall, her wrist was suddenly seized by a large, powerful hand. The grip was astonishingly strong, almost enough to crush her slender wrist bone. Gritting her teeth, she turned to look. It was Lu Huijing. Song Yingying was following behind him. Qingzi.
You do have feelings for me after all. Otherwise, why would you come to the market to pick out these?
These wedding fruits?
You must be preparing for our wedding, right? I understand.
He smiled with such smug confidence, completely oblivious to the scars on the back of her hand. That day you said you were breaking the engagement, but it was just words spoken in anger.
I understand all of this.
Don't worry. Even though I can only take you as a concubine,
I will never treat you poorly.
I froze. I tried to pull my hand back, but he only tightened his grip, making the bruise on my hand ache even more. Lu Huijing, let go! My hand hurts. Only then did he notice the dark bruise on the back of my hand.
How did this happen?
Did you get into a fight?
Or, did you hurt yourself on purpose just to make me feel sorry for you?
His words cut like a knife, stabbing right through my heart. Song Yingying suddenly stepped forward. She tugged at his sleeve with feigned concern.
Huijing, please don't be like this. Sister might really have been wronged. But don't be angry, sister. Huijing does care about you. That's why he's willing to take you as a concubine. Anyone else, he wouldn't even consider it.
Her words were like a fuse, instantly igniting the whispers of the onlookers.
At first, it was just hushed whispers.
Soon, people started shouting accusations.
Young Master Lu is going to marry Miss Song, yet she still won't let go. How shameless! I think she's trying to cling to young Master Lu.
While also aiming to marry the regent and become his princess.
Her ambitions are truly grand.
Those words were like countless needles piercing my eardrums. Lu Huijing watched the scene, a hint of triumph flashing in his eyes.
Qingzi, stop making a scene. I know you've been wronged, but I can't let Yingying get hurt.
Looked at his hypocritical face and the pointing, gossiping crowd around us, and found it all utterly ridiculous. 7 years of my genuine devotion, and all I got in return were bruises all over and a ruined reputation. I will never marry you, and I certainly won't be your concubine. Used all my strength to shake off his hand. The pain on the back of my hand mixed with the ache in my heart. It almost made me lose my footing. But Lu Huijing thought I was just throwing a tantrum. He stepped forward to grab me.
Qingzi, stop being so stubborn. Besides me, who else would want you? Your reputation is already ruined. I'm the only one who can protect you.
Protect me? Looked at him. My heart turned cold. The people who cursed me, the ones who pushed and trampled me. Did you send them?
Lu Huijing.
You disgust me. With that, I turned and walked away.
Jen Qingzi,
Don't you regret this.
you'll come crawling back to me eventually.
On the day of the grand wedding, before dawn, I put on the phoenix crown and embroidered robes. At the hour of Chen, the Prince Regent's wedding procession arrived. Drums and music filled the air. The miles-long dowry procession lit up the entire street.
The prince is so good to you, miss.
I boarded the grand red sedan chair. As soon as the curtain was lowered, my anxious heart settled a little.
Closed my eyes for a moment. Then I instructed the wedding matron outside.
Lift the sedan. The matron acknowledged
The grand red sedan chair was slowly lifted.
and proceeded toward the Prince Regent's mansion. At the same time, a small blue sedan chair had just arrived at the Shen residence's back door. Lu Huijing stood beside it, clutching a crumpled red silk handkerchief in his hand. He raised his hand and knocked on the back door.
Qingzi, I've come to marry you.
After waiting for a while and seeing the back door still shut tight with no response, Lu Huijing said with a hint of helplessness in his tone.
Qingzi, I know you're still sulking. You're hiding in there on purpose.
He muttered to himself at the closed door, his voice full of certainty.
Stop dawdling now.
It's past 7 already.
If you don't come out, we'll miss the auspicious hour. I know you care for me. You can't bear to part with me.
Otherwise, why would you secretly buy wedding fruits?
I've already talked it over with Yingying. You'll enter the household first.
The tea ceremony can be done later. Leaning against the door, he went on planning the future by himself. One moment saying what kind of courtyard he'd arrange for me, the next saying I should give in to Yingying more after she joins the household. Completely unaware that behind the door, there wasn't even a single person to answer him. After waiting another quarter of an hour, he finally grew impatient. He banged on the door, his voice tinged with panic as he shouted, "Qingzi, if you don't open up, I'm coming in."
If the servants see that, it won't look good for you either.
Just then, the back door creaked open. My personal maid came out. Lu Huijing's eyes lit up and he hurried forward.
Where's your mistress? Has she come around? Quick, have her come out. We need to go.
But the maid shook her head.
Young Master Lu, you should go back. My mistress left half an hour ago. She already left in the Regent's mansion's wedding sedan. By now, she's probably almost at the wedding ceremony.
The smile on Lu Huijing's face instantly froze. He stood there, stunned. He whipped his head around to look at the dusty little sedan chair. His eyes were filled with disbelief. Then he looked at the maid's cold expression, as if finally realizing something.
You're lying.
How could she? This sedan chair was specially prepared for her.
This chair. The young lady wouldn't even glance at it.
The maid cut him off.
The young lady is marrying the regent.
The wedding procession stretches for miles, with a phoenix crown, embroidered robes, and a path paved with gold foil.
How can your shabby sedan compare? Her tone was laced with barely concealed sarcasm. No, impossible.
Lu Huijing frantically denied reality in his heart. Cinderella has always loved him. She vowed to marry no one else. How could she marry the regent? She must still be angry. If he catches up now, he might still be able to win her back. With that thought, Lu Huijing took off running towards the regent's mansion. The bright red wedding sedan was halfway there, just turning a street corner, when hurried footsteps suddenly approached. Then, the sedan jolted violently. The curtain was yanked open. Startled, I looked up. There stood Lu Huijing by the sedan, sweating profusely. His hair was disheveled, his fine robes stained with dust, his chest heaving. He had clearly run here like a madman. Before I could react, he grabbed my wrist with a crushing grip. So hard it felt like he might break the bone.
Cinderella,
Come with me. Gu Xingji is a cripple.
how can you actually marry him?
The pain in my wrist made me frown. I tried to pry his hand off. My voice was icy cold.
Lu Huijing.
Let go. I have nothing to do with you anymore. Not only did he not let go, he tightened his grip even more. His eyes were filled with resentment and madness. I can't just stand by and watch my woman marry a cripple. Everyone knows you used to just follow me around. 7 years. Shen Xingqi.
You waited for me for 7 years.
With his other hand, he pulled something from his chest. It was the half piece of warm jade I shattered that day. He had carefully mended the cracks with gold foil. The edges were still a bit rough. Clearly, he clumsily repaired it himself.
Look, I fixed the jade.
Qingxi,
Look at it.
I know you're angry I broke it. I was wrong.
Sought out the best craftsmen in the capital to learn how to repair it. I burned several blisters on my hands.
See? It's whole again. We can be whole again too, right? The gold foil on the jade glinted harshly in the sunlight, reflecting his bloodshot eyes.
Just found it utterly laughable.
Once broken, it's broken. Patching it with gold foil can't piece back the past. Just like between us. From the moment he chose Song Yingying, there was no going back.
Do you think the regent will look kindly upon a woman who once admired another man?
His words were like a blunt knife, stabbing at the foolishness of my past 7 years. Looking at his utterly convinced expression, I suddenly felt it was all so ridiculous.
All the pent-up anger and resentment erupted instantly.
Violently shook off his hand, sending that half piece of gold-mended warm jade clattering to the ground as well. Crack. The jade shattered once more. The gold foil flew apart, leaving a mess scattered on the ground. Lu Huijing seemed drained of all strength by that sound, staring blankly at the jade shattered once again on the ground. He stood frozen in place. His eyes were empty and lifeless.
Then how could you disregard our years of affection and replace Song Yingying's signature with mine? My voice was clear and resolute, each word cutting like a blade.
Lu Huijing was momentarily at a loss for words. The color drained from his face. I thought you would refuse.
You and I are already engaged.
If you refused, the regent wouldn't have held it against you. But Yingying is different.
If her name had been drawn,
She would have really had to marry him.
can't you show a little compassion?
Was almost driven to vomit blood by Lu Huijing's twisted logic.
Lu Huijing was good to me before.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have waited for him all these years. But everything changed when Song Yingying, his childhood sweetheart, returned. Everything changed. Lu Huijing pitied Song Yingying for her congenital heart condition, so he constantly asked me to yield. The rouge I liked, Song Yingying also fancied it, so he made me give it to her. I prefer sweet flavors, but Song Yingying likes savory ones, so everything catered to her taste. Even on my birthday, Lu Huijing forgot, all because he was catching fireflies to make a night lamp for Song Yingying. Whenever I was unhappy, Lu Huijing would always say,
Yingying has a heart condition.
"You should give in to her." And now, he's personally pushing me into the fire. There was not a trace of attachment left in my eyes.
I'd rather marry anyone, even an ordinary man, than someone as selfish as you.
She cut him off coldly. Her voice was icy and firm, leaving no room for sentiment.
You keep professing your sincerity,
But your sincerity is just to make me your concubine.
to make me step aside for Song Yingying, to make me swallow all my grievances for the sake of your deep affection.
Lu Huijing, I, Shen Xingqi, was blind to have waited for you for 7 years. But now I've finally woken up. Stop lying to yourself. As soon as she finished speaking, the guards from the wedding procession immediately stepped forward and surrounded Lu Huijing.
He staggered back 2 steps, looking at Shen Qing's icy expression, his own face filled with urgency. That urgency on his face gradually gave way to shock.
And panic, his eyes wide. Qingze, let me explain. Save your breath.
She said sternly to the wedding attendant. Move the sedan.
Lu Huijing seemed to snap out of it suddenly and lunged in front of the sedan, spreading his arms to block the way.
I said you can't marry him, so you can't. I'm standing right here today, if you have the...
You'll have to step over my corpse.
Shen Qingzi never expected Lu Huijing to go this mad. Frowning, she said,
Get out of the way.
No, not unless you come back with me. The people below looked at each other.
None daring to take another step forward.
Lu Huijing mistook Shen Qingzi's hesitation for a softening heart, and hope flared in his eyes. His voice softened as he gazed tenderly at the wedding sedan. Qingzi, let's go back. I'll marry you. A proper wedding. I won't let Ying into the house anymore, all right?
I'll marry only you.
Just then, a familiar figure pushed through the crowd. It was Lu Huijing's mother, Madame Lu. She grabbed Lu Huijing by the arm.
Jinger, have you lost your mind? This is the Regent King's wedding procession. Come back with me at once.
Lu Huijing shook off her hand. He stood stubbornly in front of the bridal sedan. Mother.
Qingzi is mine.
She cannot marry someone else. Madame Lu trembled with rage. She raised her hand and slapped him across the face.
You unfilial son! Haven't you brought enough ruin upon the Lu family? If you dare block the sedan today, the Lu family will be executed tomorrow.
She turned and bowed deeply to the sedan. Her voice choked with tears.
Miss Shen. No, Your Highness, Princess. The Lu family failed to teach our son. Please, be merciful and spare him this once.
Looking at Madame Lu's pale, haggard face, I felt no joy, only a cold, bleak sorrow. Once, she held my hand, smiling, saying, Marry into our family soon, and I'll treat you like my own daughter. Now, because of her son's foolishness, she must bow and scrape before me, the princess. How laughable the world is. Nothing is more absurd than this. Just as I was about to speak, the sound of galloping horses suddenly came from the distance. The hoofbeats grew louder and closer, making the ground tremble slightly. The onlookers instinctively stepped back, clearing a path. A jet-black steed stopped directly before my bridal sedan. The man on horseback wore dark court robes embroidered with pythons, his ink-black hair tied with a jade crown. He looked nothing like the cripple from the rumors. Before I could react, he dismounted with a fluid motion. Gu Xingji walked straight to the sedan, ignoring Lu Huijing, who was still struggling against the guards.
As the carriage curtain was lifted, the coldness in her eyes softened slightly. Before she could speak, he leaned down, his arm wrapping firmly around her waist. With a slight effort, he swept her up into his arms,
He turned and mounted his horse.
settling her securely in front of him, his broad chest pressed against her back, radiating a warmth that felt safe and reassuring.
The entire sequence was fluid and seamless.
Causing the onlookers to gasp in shock. Whispers instantly erupted, nearly overwhelming the entire street.
The Regent isn't actually crippled. All those rumors about him losing his leg in battle were false.
Look at his posture, his presence. Does he look disabled? He must have been hiding it on purpose.
Exactly. Look at the Regent and Miss Shen standing together. One is handsome and imposing.
The other is elegant and graceful. They're a match made in heaven. No wonder Miss Shen insisted on marrying him. Who wouldn't choose a regent like him? Over that young Master Lu, who only tells her to give in to others.
Lu Huijing, standing behind, heard these comments. Watching the two figures pressed close together on horseback, his eyes turned bloodshot, as if about to bleed. The constant murmurs of how perfect they were for each other made him subconsciously halt his steps. The color slowly drained from his face, turning as pale as paper. Yet he still refused to give up. He stubbornly insisted.
Qingji has feelings for me. We've been together for 7 years. You're just her backup plan.
Her backup.
Gu Xingzi scoffed and raised his right hand.
The guards beside him understood immediately. They stepped forward and pinned Lu Huijing down firmly. No matter how he struggled, he couldn't move an inch. Seeing this, Lu Huijing panicked completely. He whipped his head around and shouted at the onlookers. Don't be fooled by her. Shen Qingji and I have already been intimate.
He's no longer pure. Marrying the Regent is just to find someone to cover up her shame.
My expression darkened instantly. I raised my hand and pressed down on Gu Xingji's arm around my waist, signaling him to stay calm.
Then I said coldly to Jinshu behind me.
Jinshu.
Bring it out.
Jinshu immediately stepped forward and handed me an ornate box. I opened the box and took out a stack of letters and a clearly written IOU. I raised my hand, displaying them for all to see. Lu Huijing.
Our engagement was annulled when I was chosen to be the Regent's consort. I pointed at the letters, my voice clear as a bell, every word ringing with conviction.
In all 7 years we were together.
Never once crossed the line. So how could we have been intimate? You're just a sore loser.
It even has your parents' signatures. You're not going to deny it, are you?
The crowd looked at the evidence,
And the murmurs grew louder. Each word was like a knife stabbing into Lu Huijing's heart. So it was young Master Lu who wronged Miss Shen. And now he's spreading slanderous rumors. I actually felt sorry for him before. But now it seems he brought this on himself. Lu Huijing was drowned out by these voices. His face turned deathly pale. He swayed slightly, as if dealt a devastating blow. leaving only emptiness and despair in his eyes. He opened his mouth, but no words came out. He could only watch helplessly as Gu Xingji and I,
Your Highness, don't waste your anger on him.
drag him away and punish him for slandering a member of the royal family. Just as the guards were about to drag Lu Huijing away, the gathered crowd, who had only been murmuring,
Now erupted in accusations and mockery directed at Lu Huijing. He's just jealous of the regent, seeing Miss Shen marry so well. He's gone mad with jealousy and is spouting nonsense. Someone like him should be locked up, so he can't harm anyone else.
Right at that moment,
flurry of hurried footsteps sounded from beyond the crowd. Song Yingying came running, folding up her skirts and panting. Her hair was even a bit disheveled. Her face was full of anxiety.
Her eyes immediately fell on Lu Huijing, pinned to the ground. She rushed over,
But upon seeing Gu Xingji on horseback, her steps faltered. Then she turned to me. A flash of venom crossed her eyes, but she quickly put on a fragile act. She addressed the onlookers in a soft voice.
everyone.
don't be fooled by Shen Jiejie. She and Huijing grew up together. She clearly had deep feelings for Huijing before, but now she's turned around and married the regent. Perhaps she was always scheming for power and status.
Besides, how could Huijing possibly spread rumors?
Maybe now that Shen Jiejie is the princess consort,
She's turning her back on old friends and forgetting past affections.
Her manipulative words made my blood boil. Before I could even speak, Gu Xingji in front of me had already turned cold, pulls back on the reins. His gaze sweeps over her like a cold blade. Before she can utter another word, he suddenly dismounts. In a few strides, he's right in front of her. Song Yingying tries to play the victim,
she opens her mouth to speak.
but Gu Xingzi slaps her hard across the face. Her cheek instantly swells and reddens. Blood trickles from the corner of her mouth.
My princess consort. How dare you speak of her so recklessly?
Gu Xingzi's voice is as cold as winter ice. Lu Huijing spread rumors about the royal family.
You dared to help him slander the princess consort.
That makes you an accomplice. Song Yingying is stunned by the blows. Holding her face, she stares at Gu Xingzi in disbelief.
Tears instantly well up in her eyes. But when she hears the word accomplice,
And then hears Gu Xingji coldly order his guards.
Throw her in prison with Lu Huijing.
Her face turns deathly pale. All pretense of fragility vanishes. She takes a frantic step back. Shoving Lu Huijing aside, she drops to her knees with a thud. She kowtows repeatedly to Gu Xingji.
spare me, Prince Regent.
I'm not an accomplice.
Lu Huijing forced me into this. He made me come and speak for him.
I had no idea he was spreading lies.
Lu Huijing was already devastated by the public's scorn and Gu Xingji's punishment.
Now, shoved aside by Song Yingying and hearing her publicly disavow him, his eyes turn red with rage.
Struggling to his feet, he grabs Song Yingying by the hair.
Song Yingying!
You bitch!
Who was it that begged me for help? Who made me betray Qingqi over and over? And now you dare to deny everything? Song Yingying panicked too. She reached out to scratch Lu Huijing's face. Lu Huijing, you deserve it.
It's your own incompetence. You couldn't keep Shen Qingqi.
And you dragged me down with you.
I refuse to go to prison with you. The two instantly began to brawl. Hair disheveled, clothes rumpled. All their former dignity was gone.
The onlookers stared in disbelief, watching this childhood sweetheart pair.
Now publicly turning on each other in this farce.
Ungrateful wretch.
This is all your fault.
You brought this on yourself.
Serves you right for ending up like this. They tore at each other. The scene descended into chaos. Gu Xingji watched the scene coldly. Disgust filled his eyes.
Don't let them offend the princess's eyes here. Drag them both away. Lock them in prison.
Guards immediately stepped forward, separating the two combatants.
Forcibly drag them away.
The two were still hurling insults at each other, their voices fading into the distance. Gu Xingzi turned and walked back to his horse. He mounted again, pulling me closer into his embrace. Sorry you had to see that ugly spectacle. I've put you through this. I shook my head, leaning against his chest, looking towards where Lu Huijing and Song Yingying had vanished. I felt nothing but complete relief. A 7-year relationship finally came to a close in this farce. Gu Xingji rode back to the manor with me on horseback. The prince's mansion was already decorated with lanterns and banners. Bright red silk drapes hung from the eaves. Joy was in the air everywhere. The servants saw us return and bowed in unison.
Welcome back, Your Highness. Your Highness.
Gu Xingji dismounted first, his movements swift and steady. Then he carefully helped me down, his actions gentle and considerate. The wedding ceremony is all prepared.
I'm sorry we were delayed on the road for so long.
My cheeks grew warm. I nodded gently in understanding. He took my hand and led me step by step deeper into the mansion. A red carpet stretched from the main gate to the main hall, bustling with joy.
Servants lined both sides.
Their eyes full of respect and blessings. In the center of the main hall stood the altar table, with tablets to heaven and earth placed upon it. The wedding attendant stepped forward with a smile.
Guiding us through the ceremonial bows. First bow to heaven and earth. Second bow to the parents. Third, bow to each other.
We turned to face each other. The look in his eyes was so tender it could melt one's heart. My heart skipped a beat. I slowly bowed, preparing for the ritual, to complete this final bow with him.
The ceremony is complete. Escort them to the bridal chamber.
The servants immediately erupted and cheered.
Full of jubilation.
Go rest in the chamber first.
I'll join you after attending to the guests for a moment. Gu Xingji squeezed my hand, his tone full of tenderness. I nodded in agreement. My heart was filled with peace and anticipation.
Accompanied by Jinshu,
I walked towards the newly prepared bridal chamber. The chamber was awash in festive red, joy permeating every corner. Bedding embroidered with dragons and phoenixes lay on the bed, exquisite and magnificent. I sat on the edge of the bed, my fingertips lightly tracing the soft bedding. My heart was full of peace and hope for the future. I don't know how much time passed when the door was gently pushed open. Gu Xingji walked in. He carried a faint scent of wine, yet it hadn't clouded his mind in the slightest. He came over and sat down beside me, picked up the nuptial wine from the table, and handed a cup to me. I've kept you waiting today. I took the wine cup, gently clinked it against his, tipped my head back and drank. Set the cup down. Gu Xingji suddenly grasped my hand. His gaze was serious.
Fiancée, there's something.
I've always wanted to tell you. I looked up at him, urging him to continue.
I'm not actually crippled.
I've been pretending all along. My heart stirred slightly, but I wasn't too surprised.
3 years ago, I was fighting on the frontier. I did fall into an enemy ambush.
An arrow struck my left leg. The wound was severe, but it wasn't permanently disabling.
I recovered fully after 6 months of rest. But back then, the late emperor had just passed. The crown prince was young,
Many powerful ministers coveted the throne.
secretly building alliances.
If they knew I had recovered
They would have seen me as a major threat.
and united against me, even endangering the crown prince's safety. So you deliberately claimed your left leg was crippled, stayed in a wheelchair all day, to appear weak. Gu Xingji nodded. A cold glint flashed in his eyes.
That's right. For these 3 years, using this crippled identity, I lulled them into lowering their guard.
Secretly gathering evidence of their treason, rooting out the traitors in court, step by step.
Now the court is stabilizing. The crown prince is growing up. I no longer need to keep up the act.
Kept it from you.
Because I feared you'd worry, and feared the plan would leak.
And the fact that you married me was something I actually anticipated long ago. Hearing this, I raised an eyebrow in mild surprise. Do you remember back at our grandmother's place in Jiangnan? There was a quiet kid next door. Hearing this, I seemed to realize something, yet I still looked at Gu Jixing in disbelief. That's right, it was me. That silent, withdrawn child back then, and now this all-powerful regent. No one would ever connect the two. The kid who was bullied and I protected now holds such immense power. Couldn't help but marvel at the whims of fate. You were the one I originally intended to marry. When I found out your fiancé swapped the marriage lot, you have no idea how happy I was. Couldn't help but let out a soft laugh. That's how it was. You've had a crush on me all along. Yes, I've had a crush on you all along. Looking at the exhaustion in his eyes, my heart ached for him. I reached out and gently touched his cheek. You've been through so much. He took my hand and pressed a soft kiss to it. His gaze was tender. Now that you're by my side, it won't be hard anymore. Moonlight streamed in through the window lattice. I leaned against his shoulder, feeling his warmth. We stayed awake the whole night. In these first days of marriage, he attended to my every need. Because of his orders, everyone in the manor treated me with great respect. This peace was soon shattered by Lu Huijing's persistence. Early that morning, the manor's courtyard stretched deep. Wind chimes tinkle softly under the eaves. I had just finished washing up. I was tidying my clothes and hair. Jinshu hurried in. She said with a hint of helplessness,
Your Highness.
young Master Lu is kneeling outside the manor gate again.
my hand holding the jade comb paused slightly. Then I regained my composure.
Said calmly, ignore him.
I thought he'd give up after kneeling for half a day. But by the afternoon, the sun grew stronger, and the heat intensified. A guard came to report, saying Lu Huijing was still kneeling outside, refusing to leave. The bluestone under his knees was stained a faint red. He kept calling my name, begging me to come out and see him, to hear his apology. Gu Xingji was playing chess with me in the courtyard at the time. He looked perfectly at ease. Hearing this, Gu Xingji's hand placing a piece sank slightly. A cold glint flashed in his eyes. He said coolly,
He certainly is persistent. He's just using that persistence in the wrong place.
With that, he stood up and took my hand. We prepared to go together.
Come.
Let's go see this persistent young Master Lu. Hand in hand, we walked toward the manor gate. We strolled slowly along the corridor. Lu Huijing wore a brocade robe faded from washing. His hair was disheveled, his face haggard. The fabric at his knees was long worn through. Blood seeped through, yet he stubbornly remained kneeling. Hearing movement at the gate, Lu Huijing immediately looked up, hope filling his eyes. Qingxi, you finally agreed to see me.
I know I was wrong. I truly know I was wrong.
As he spoke, he picked up a food box beside him. His movements were frantic.
These are the osmanthus cakes you used to love. I made them myself. Please, try one.
Just give me a chance to make it up to you. Gu Xingji held my hand. His grip was warm, firm, and reassuring. Gu Xingji spoke coldly to the man outside. His voice was stern and imposing.
Lu Huijing, do you even know what you did wrong?
Lu Huijing was taken aback for a moment. He said he shouldn't have defended Song Yingying and shouldn't have let Shen Qingce suffer. He begged Qingce to go back with him, promising to treat her well from now on. He swore it would never happen again. Hearing his words, Shen Qingce couldn't help but let out a cold laugh.
He called out to the door. You still don't even know what you truly did wrong. You never truly cared for me.
Marrying Gu Xingzi wasn't out of spite. I genuinely wanted to leave you. I wanted a peaceful life. Shen Qingce's words were like a sharp knife, stabbing deep into Lu Huijing's heart. His face instantly turned deathly pale. He staggered on his feet, but still refused to give up. Qingce, I'm being sincere. Give me one more chance. Just one. The coldness in Gu Xingzi's eyes deepened. He ordered the guard sternly. Take him away from here. If he dares to approach the manor again, deal with him as a trespasser. The guards immediately stepped forward, trying to help Lu Huijing up. But he struggled, refusing to get up. His eyes fixed desperately on the main gate. Qingce.
Won't leave. I'll wait for you to forgive me.
But his struggles were useless against the guards. In the end, he was forcibly dragged away. He was still shouting Shen Qingxi's name, his voice filled with despair. Later, the servant said that after Lu Huijing was sent away, he secretly returned. He waited for several days on a street corner near the manor, but he never saw Shen Qingxi again. After Lu Huijing returned home, he fell gravely ill. With a persistent high fever, he babbled deliriously all night. The Lu family called in many doctors, but none could help him. Before I knew it, I was over 3 months pregnant. Gu Xingzi became even more attentive to me. Even his mandatory morning court sessions
Were often skipped to stay and care for me.
One day, it happened to be Guan Yun's birthday. He accompanied me to the Tranquil Heart Temple in the suburbs to pray, hoping for a safe and healthy child. The temple was bustling with worshippers. With nothing else to do, I took a solitary walk in the bamboo grove behind the temple. Just as I reached a secluded spot, a familiar yet wretched figure came into view. It was Lu Huijing. He wore coarse clothing. His hair was disheveled, his complexion sallow, and his cheekbones sunken. Gone was the look of the noble young master. Seeing me, he froze for a moment. Then a flicker of light flashed in his eyes. He tried to step forward, but was stopped by the guards beside him. He could only stand there, his voice hoarse like sandpaper.
Qingce.
Stopped walking. I looked at him calmly, without a trace of emotion. Jinshu whispered beside me.
Your Highness, word in the capital is the Lu family's business has completely collapsed.
Merchants, afraid of offending the prince,
Have all cut ties with them.
Now, the Lu family can barely cover their daily expenses.
Hearing this, Lu Huijing looked deeply ashamed. He hung his head, his voice choked with tears. I was wrong. I treated you poorly back then.
If I hadn't protected Song Yingying, I wouldn't have ended up like this.
Whether you're right or wrong, it's none of my business. I cut him off, my tone cold. Running into you today, let's just be strangers. No need to say more. Just as I'm speaking, an argument breaks out in the distance. I see a woman in tattered clothes.
With dry, yellow hair, being chased away by the temple monks.
Looking closer, it's actually Song Yingying. Her face is covered in grime. Her clothes are a patchwork of men's. Gone is any trace of her former delicate, charming self.
I just wanted a bite to eat. Why are you driving me away?
Song Yingying cries out. When she sees Lu Huijing, her eyes instantly blaze with venom.
Lu Huijing, you're the one who ruined me.
If it weren't for you, how could I have been driven from the manor?
Lu Huijing's face darkens. He retorts sharply.
If you hadn't incited me back then, how could I have lost Qingxi?
How could the Lu family have fallen? How dare you blame me? Instantly, the two of them are locked in a heated argument. I don't wish to watch anymore. What's done is done. Right and wrong are matters of the heart. Let's go. I look up into Gu Xingzi's gentle gaze. I nod. Taking his arm, I walk step by step out of the bamboo grove. Sunlight filters through the bamboo leaves, warm and bright. I know, in the days to come, with him by my side and our child in my womb, this is the greatest happiness in the world. End of chapter.